Okay, so we're going to practice that box method. Practice factoring when the leading coefficient is not 1. Okay? We did this one. This was number, I think, 3 maybe on your worksheet. We did that one. That was the one I think you wrote down. And then this one I did on the board, but I don't think you had time to write it down. So we've already done 2. So let's look at another one. How about 2x squared plus 5x plus 2? Okay, if you're starting to feel comfortable with this, pause it, pause the video, try it yourself, see where you get stuck, and then play the video. Okay, now here I'm going to go ahead and go. First thing I do, multiply 2 times 2. This number and this number, the A and the C. So I have 2 times 2 is 4, and I want 2 numbers that multiply to give me 4 and add to give me 5. That would be 4 and 1. So now I'm going to break this up. 2x squared plus 4x plus 1x. I'm breaking up the middle 5x, that middle term, into 2 terms. Now I put those in the boxes. I've got 4 terms, so I've got things to go in 4 boxes. The greatest common factor of the first row is 2x. The second row is 1. Greatest common factor of the first column is just x. And second column is 2. And there's my answer, 2x plus 1, everything from over here, 2 times x plus 2, which is everything across the top. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, this one is 4x squared plus 13x plus 3. Again, if you want to try it yourself, pause now, try it yourself. Come back to me when you're ready to see if you did it right. I'm going to start by multiplying 4 times 3, and that gets me 12. And so I want 2 numbers that multiply to give me 12 and add to give me 13. That would be 1 and 12. So I'm going to break up this middle term, the 13x, into 1x and 12x. Doesn't matter what order. Now I'm going to put these in boxes. 4x squared, 12x, 1x, and 3. Greatest common factor of the first row, 4x. Greatest common factor of the second row, 1. I could go ahead and write, that means one of my factors is 4x plus 1. Greatest common factor of the first column is x. Second column is 3. So my other factor is x plus 3, and there is my answer. Okay, we'll do another one just like this, and then we'll put a little twist on it. Okay, so let's go with, this is number 5. 6x squared minus 7x plus 2. Again, you can pause here and try it yourself. 6 times 2 is 12. So I need 2 numbers that multiply to give me 12 and add to give me negative 7. 6 times 2 comes from here. So 2 numbers that multiply to give me that, add to give me this number right here. So that would be negative 3 and negative 4. So this now gets split up into negative 3x and negative 4x. Now I have 4 terms to put in 4 boxes. Greatest common factor of the first row is 3x. Greatest common factor of the second row is 2, but I'm going to make it a negative 2 because if there's a negative in the box closest to where you are writing, you take it with you. Greatest common factor of that first column, 2x. Greatest common factor of the second column is just 1. But again, there's a negative in the closest box to me, so I'm going to take it with me. So my answer is 3x minus 2 times 2x minus 1. Remember, you could FOIL to check your answer. I'm just so darn confident I don't need to. Haha. Okay. Oh, let's do another one just for fun. Again, pause it if you want to. Three times negative 3. You need to take the sign if it's negative. Equals negative 9. So I need two numbers that multiply to give me negative 9 and add to give me negative 8. That would be negative 9 and positive 1. So 3x squared minus 9x plus 1x minus 3 equals 0. Three x squared, negative 9x, 1x, negative 3. Biggest common factor that goes into these two is 3x. Biggest common factor here is 1. Biggest common factor here, x. Biggest common factor here, negative 3. So my answer is 3x plus 1, x minus 3. Alright, so I said there was going to be a little twist. Here's your little twist. The little twist is, how about this? This is 7, I think. Okay. This is going to be box method, but first of all, it has a greatest common factor. You really should always be looking for greatest common factors. It has to be something that goes into all three terms. 5 does in this case. So I'm going to take a 5 out. That leaves me with 6x squared plus 1x minus 2. So it's still going to be box method to factor. Sometimes when you take out that greatest common factor, you no longer have a coefficient in front of x squared that's non-1. Okay? In other words, sometimes when I take out the greatest common factor, then it's the easy kind of factoring. But this one still has a number in front of x squared that's not 1. So I still have to use box method. So I'm still going to have to go 6 times negative 2 is negative 12. Find two numbers that multiply to give me that, and add to give me 1 from right here. Okay, I'm factoring just what's in the parentheses now. So that would be 4 and negative 3. So now I break up, and that 5 is still just like hanging out front. So I'll break up the middle term into positive 4x and negative 3x. Go to my box. 6x squared, 4x, negative 3x, negative 2, 2x, negative 1, 3x, 2. Don't forget that 5. It's got to come with you. 5 is still out front, and then we've got 2x minus 1, 3x plus 2. Okay, so don't forget you could have a greatest common factor. Always be on the lookout for them.